Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Fans caught this quiet moment between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, and somehow, it changed the way they see them. At first, it didn't look like much. No dramatic confession, no public statement, no obvious display meant to grab attention. It was the kind of moment you could easily miss if you blinked or looked away for even a second. But for fans who were watching closely, this brief interaction spoke louder than any headline ever could. It happened during a public appearance where both Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun were present, standing side by side, surrounded by cameras, staff, and the constant pressure that comes with being two of Korea's most recognizable stars. On the surface, everything looked normal. Polite smiles, professional posture, nothing out of the ordinary. But then, in between movements, in the quiet space where no one was supposed to be looking, something subtle unfolded. Lee Min-ho shifted slightly closer to Kim Go-eun. It wasn't sudden. It wasn't exaggerated. Just a small adjustment, almost instinctive. His body angled toward her, creating a quiet sense of awareness, as if he was unconsciously checking whether she was comfortable in that crowded moment. Kim Go-eun didn't react dramatically either. She didn't pull away or step aside. Instead, she stayed exactly where she was, relaxed, grounded, and completely at ease. For many fans, this was the moment that changed everything. Because if you followed their journey since The King, Eternal Monarch, you already know their chemistry was never loud. It was never built on flashy gestures or exaggerated fan service. What made them compelling was always something softer, something more restrained. The way they listened to each other. The way their conversations felt natural instead of scripted. The way silence between them never felt awkward. And this quiet moment felt like an extension of that same energy. Fans quickly began replaying the clip, slowing it down, watching it again from different angles. Some noticed the way Lee Min-ho's expression softened just slightly when he moved closer. Others pointed out how Kim Go-eun seemed completely unbothered by the proximity, as if it was something she was used to. What stood out wasn't what they did, it was what they didn't need to do. There was no need for eye contact to confirm anything. No need for smiles meant for the cameras. No need for reassurance. The comfort was already there. And that's what made fans start asking questions. Because in an industry where public interactions are often carefully managed, rehearsed, and calculated, moments like this feel rare. When celebrities interact, especially co-stars with a strong fan following, there's usually an invisible line they're careful not to cross. A certain distance they maintain. A sense of awareness that every move will be analyzed. But this moment didn't feel calculated at all. It felt human. Some fans described it as the kind of instinctive behavior you only show around someone you trust. The kind of movement you don't think about because it's already part of your emotional language. Others said it reminded them of how people act when they're emotionally tuned into each other, aware without being obvious. And suddenly, fans weren't just talking about the gesture itself. They were talking about what it represented. People began revisiting old interviews, behind-the-scenes clips, and promotional events from years ago. They noticed patterns they hadn't fully appreciated before. How Lee Min-ho often waited for Kim Go-eun to finish speaking before responding, even in group settings. How Kim Go-eun's tone subtly shifted when she spoke to him, calmer, more playful, more open. How their laughter together never felt forced. Individually, these moments didn't seem significant. But taken together, they began to paint a picture that felt increasingly hard to ignore. What made this quiet moment especially powerful was how it contrasted with expectations. Fans are used to dramatic narratives. Either celebrities are openly close, or they're completely distant. This moment existed somewhere in between. Not confirmatory, not dismissive, just real. And that ambiguity is what made it linger. Some fans were careful not to jump to conclusions. They emphasized respect, reminding others that not every meaningful interaction has to mean romance. And they were right. But even among those voices, there was an agreement on one thing. Whatever the relationship between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun truly is, it's built on a deep level of comfort and mutual understanding. That alone is rare. In interviews, Both actors have spoken about how challenging their roles were in The King, Eternal Monarch. The emotional weight, the pressure of expectations, the complexity of the story. And many fans now believe that surviving that experience together created a bond that doesn't simply disappear when the cameras stop rolling. This quiet moment felt like proof of that lasting connection. Not proof of romance, but proof of something genuine. And perhaps that's why it resonated so deeply. In a world of loud headlines and exaggerated reactions, fans found themselves drawn to something small, almost invisible. A shift in posture. A moment of shared space. A gesture that didn't ask to be noticed, but was noticed anyway. Some fans admitted that it changed how they see both actors, not as distant celebrities, but as people capable of quiet empathy and presence. Others said it made them reflect on how meaningful connections often exist in the smallest details, not the grand gestures. And maybe that's the real reason this moment won't fade away. Because it reminded fans that authenticity doesn't need to be announced. It doesn't need to be explained. Sometimes, it just happens, and those who are paying attention will feel it. As time goes on, the clip will eventually stop circulating as widely. New headlines will take its place. New stories will capture attention. But for fans who saw this moment and felt something shift, it will remain quietly significant. Not because it answered questions, but because it raised them in the most subtle, respectful way possible. And in the end, maybe that's what makes this quiet moment between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun so unforgettable.